Hey guys, my name is Jason with Metrotech Automotive. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the proper ways to clean wheels and tires. I'm going to have Cedric here helping me out today. We're going to make sure you guys know exactly what to do and what not to do. But first things first, we need to talk about safety. So anytime that you're going to be using these chemicals on wheels and tires, you're using a caustic degreaser, sometimes even an acid. You want to make sure you have your safety gloves on and your glasses on at all times, because you're going to be using pressure washer, all these spokes and stuff like this. When you're using that, it can blow back on you, come back on you, and get in your eyes. So you want to be safe, especially when you're doing wheels and tires, washing the car and handling these chemicals. Anytime you pull the car into your bay, you want to make sure that these wheels are not hot. Because if these wheels are hot, you're going to have an issue before you put any type of degreaser on there.
So what can we do if the wheel is hot? I mean, is there a way we can cool it down?
Great question. So yeah, by all means. So if you pull the car into the dealership, to your bay, you're getting ready to do your wheels and tires, maybe a technician just got through test driving it, maybe a customer had it, whatever the case may be, you want to cool it down with the pressure washer or water hose just to cool the surface down, because if you spray that chemical on a hot wheel, a degreaser with a high pH balance, it can flash back on you. So make sure that these wheels and tires are cool to the touch. So first things first, safety equipment. I'm going to spray this degreaser all over the entire wheel, fender well as well, all in here. But I want to make sure we're using Tough Enough. Tough Enough is your exterior degreaser. It is your main dirtiest parts of the car degreaser. This is what you're going to use, is the Tough Enough. So if you get a big truck, a dually, big Sprinter van of some sort where you have a large here area, this isn't that big, these spray bottles will work fine. But just a tip, if you do deal with a lot of those Chevy, Ford dealerships have big trucks, stuff like that, I like the pump sprayer because you can actually get more chemical, and trust me, by the time you go around spraying like this in a big truck, your arm can get pretty tired. So, but for this mid-size sport utility, this will be just fine, your spray bottle, using it Tough Enough. I'm going to go on there. I'm going to spray this. This is a paint safe degreaser. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on all of the fender well area, top down, right? Top down, all into here.
So Jason, is there a reason why we would always start with the fender well first? Or why can't we just start with the wheel first?
Well, what I'm trying to do is get the chemical working for me. So the fender well is obviously the tire picks up everything off the road and puts it onto the fender well. So I like to put the degreaser on the fender well first to get that working, and then go and start with my degreaser all between the spokes, my tire area. So the three brushes that we're going to use when cleaning the wheels are this long comb brush, long green brush, short handle green brush. So Cedric's going to show you exactly how to use this comb brush. So you'll notice he's sticking the brush all the way in and moving side to side, because he's trying to get into these spokes right here. And each one, he's going to put it in all the way, side to side. That way he's trying to get as far back in the back of the wheel here as possible. Then that's the proper way to use that brush. Fantastic for getting in all these back areas. Just be careful if there's wheel weights and stuff on the wheel. You want to make sure that, so he's not jamming it in there and scratching the, because if you use too much pressure, you can scratch the back of the wheel or take these wheel weights off. But just enough. He's doing it nice and even to break up that dirt, grime, because that's usually the worst part of the wheel, is back there. About, wouldn't you say, Cedric? I mean, that's probably the worst part.
Yes, I've always struggled with this, even in my own car.
Yeah.
To get the backside of the wheels clean.
Yeah.
When I wash.
It's something that most people don't do. So that's fantastic, right there. But you'll see how all of these have a bunch of spokes. We can also come in here and say, why don't you take this, and what you're trying to do is just actually clean all this fender well area, not necessarily too much on your cars and your sport utilities, but if it's really bad, big trucks, stuff like that, that have a large surface area, you want to be able to use a brush because your pressure washer and hose is not always going to get that off.
So Jason, do I need to get back up in here all the way at the back at all times?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, definitely. Because sometimes a lot of that's where the most dirt is, in the very back. Perfect. So this shorter brush, now you can use this one or two different ways. If you have a lot of spokes, you can do this one or two ways. You can use this shorter brush right here just to get the face of the wheel.
Now, should I go up and down, or is circular motion on the wheel?
You just want to start at a reference point and make yourself around the way evenly. I like to kind of start 12 o'clock. That way I know I go around in a circle. A lot of guys will even use the valve stem. Whenever they're cleaning the wheel, they'll start where the valve stem is and clean around till they get to the valve stem back again. That way they know they haven't missed anything. Now obviously if your wheel is not terribly dirty, your water hose or pressure washer is going to get most of this off for you.
So what about the areas that I can't hit with this brush?
So you can use this wash mitt, and this wash mitt is dedicated only wheels. This is going to be only in your wheel bucket. This is degreaser. You can use this right here to get behind the spokes in here. You can also, we have a lug nut brush that is here. But yes, will your wash mitt do the same thing this will? Of course it will. This will work. Whichever you have access to, fantastic, will work just fine. I wanted to show you both just so you have options. But this is, for your bigger fender well, stuff like this. This one will work just fine on cars. And obviously this one for the backs of the wheels only. So after we've got this got a degreaser on here, we've cleaned our wheel. The next thing I would typically do is rinse this off. But I want to make a critical point to you guys. If you're doing a full detail, that type of thing, where it's a customer pay retail type position, you are going to want to definitely get in the car after you've already rinsed these off, and you want to either back the car up or move it forward 180 degrees. Because what we're trying to do is rotate the wheel or wheel and tire. So that's going to give me access to this other side of these spokes. It's also going to get me access to where I couldn't get my brush, where these brake calipers are. Hey guys, so now that we've finished degreasing the wheel, brushing the wheel, getting the backs of the wheels, now it's time to rinse the wheel off. There is a proper way to rinse the wheel off. The whole key is you want to rinse the water down and away and off the car. You don't want to rinse upwards like this. You want to rinse up from the top to the bottom. Gravity, everything is going to go to the bottom anyway. So there's no use to start at the bottom down here in the fender well and go to the top. And especially for a lot of the new makes and models, a lot of this is almost like carpet now and felt. So you want to make sure you want to get all of that dirt and water off the car. So that's why you have to hit this thing from angles. So we're going to hit straight forward. We're going to go side to side, down in these spokes when we're on the side. Same thing on that side, and Cedric's going to show us exactly the proper way how to do it. Thank you, Cedric. So, guys, very, very important to remember. He did a fantastic job. Different angles, because that's what you're dealing with is angles here. So you have to direct the water in different angles. So coming this way and shooting that way, coming from this direction and shooting that way. All in here into the single spokes like that. So there is a little bit of a science to clean the wheels and tires properly. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.